The Mad Dog's House of Pain, the only nationally licensed pro wrestling school in the state of Alabama. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, trained by the Junkyard Dog, will be your trainer. You want to be a professional wrestling superstar? Learn from GCW's own Mad Dog's House of Pain. With over 22 years experience, learn from the Mad Dog's House of Pain. 205-567-6482. Start your career today. Call 205-567-6482.
One minute after the top of the 8 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone on this 19th day of January. Greetings, good evening, how you doing? Live in a multiple location station from Global Championship Wrestling, this is GCW Radio. Fast Eddie Layne live from Studio One and live from the House of Pain, the man himself, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. What's up, my brother?
It's cold. Definitely it's cold, as we were discussing before going on the air. But hey, the roads have been hot since we've been on here since last month, and hey, we're running into each other all over the place over there in Carrollton, Georgia, for Pete State Wrestling Alliance. Got to join you with a little commentary. That was good for the tag team tournament. But hey, it's GCW Radio, so let's talk a little Global Championship Wrestling.
First off, wrapping up 2015. Great night in Pell City, Alabama. Things are now in place. I'm sure most everybody has seen the poster. But before we start concentrating on the 30th, I want to go ahead and come back to one little thing that occurred back at Seasons Meetings 2015. Spiral, Jimmy Rave. A lot of people are talking about that as one of the top matches of the year in Global. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, hands down. I mean, it's one of the greatest matches of wrestling. I mean, you could have put that on any pay-per-view, including WWE, and people would have been happy. You know, when I put that out there, a lot of people were like, better than Steamboat Macho Man. Actually, Tim Horner, Lightning Express Tim Horner said that. I said, let me tell you, man, of this day, yes, it is that quality. And he responds to me privately, damn, got to see that. So, hey, man, it was exciting night all the way around. Those guys tore it up, put on a clinic, box office, huge crowd. I was going to say something about this on Facebook earlier this week, but I think today we're just going to throw it out there. What the hell's going on with wrestling math? I mean, like promoters saying they have 700 or 800 people, and you see the pictures, you're like, okay, you had 150, 200 people. Just say you had 150, 200 people. You know, who does it help? You know, especially in Alabama, you know, you're going to pay on your gate with the athletic commission.
Yep.
Why would you want to lie in social media forum to make who feel better? I mean, it just doesn't. You know, and it's always some former employee that is not around anymore that always wants to enhance the crowd, you know.
Well,
it's just silly. I mean, just give it up already. You know, you could do that if there was no photos of the place, no video of the place, but don't be stupid.
Or if it was,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
If it was the San Juan, Puerto Rico show where Pat Patterson won the WWF or the Worldwide Wrestling Federation Intercontinental title, I'm pretty sure you could get away with that. But if you're talking about somewhere that has remote access for the internet, guess what, kids? People are going to find out.
And you're going to look dumb and dumber. But, the house was ecstatic. You know, I never thought in a million years that, the Brotherhood's back to their wild shenanigans and still claiming they've got some legal representation. God only knows what that could mean. But, Veronica Fairchild is aligned up with those guys, O'Malley and O'Hagan, cutting off Kelvin Big K's hair. You know, they beat those guys. I come out and said, look, if you beat a team, you beat them. But cut their hair off and humiliate them and all that stuff, that's, you know, I had to come on out and, you know, just give my opinion on that. And they try to Shanghai me. The crowd went nuts. I loved it. I mean, believe me. But I went and watched the film, and I was like, wow, that was really loud. You know, unlike some places where you have to put a little extra audio in. That was raw, man.
You know, and that's funny. I have to cut in for a second because I went back and listened to the audio feed from my production console, and I also went back and watched the raw footage from the stage cam. And, you know, it's funny when you mention it perfectly. You don't have to go back. It's like, you know, WWE, Impact, a couple other companies over the years, WCW, were notorious for piping in crowd noise. That is something we have been blessed to not have to be able to do, right, sir?
Yeah, I mean, if the guys are not popping them, they probably don't deserve to be in the ring. So, you know, you found the wrong thing to do with your life and your time. And if you don't want to draw and promote the show, you need to find something else to do, because it's not going to promote itself, even though it's been established for a long period of time. It's a constant work. And a promoter from Tennessee asked me, well, what's the secret? There is no secret. You never stop pushing the show.
Bingo.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you're doing podcast, radio, TV, you got to do it all. And just, it's a constant, never finished project. And then it moves on to the next one.
And right about there, right about there, Wick would normally pop in with the Jay-Z song, on to the next one, on to the next one. Either that or a Kanye West song that he might think would be appropriate, right, Wick?
Well, there's always an appropriate Kanye West song. How is everyone doing this evening?
Wick,
I guess,
Kid, Walks.
well, you know, we could say All of the Lights, but you know, or Blood on the Leaves, but.
Very true. Very true. Folks, welcoming in, he is the man. I'm not going to use the term manager of champions because that has been put out there so many times on so many different people. I will call him as his due. He is the Oracle of Ominous. He is the Necessary Evil. He is the Wicked Nemesis. Glad to have you on board tonight, brother.
I want to first of all say thank you to everyone that has helped me along these last 10 years and my decade of delusion.
Awesome. I like it.
But also, I want to say thank you, Dan and Josh, for coming out Saturday evening. We have a lot to deal with coming up at Hill City. Your plate is full, sir, as well as Fast Eddie Layne's plate being full, and the Commissioner, Bullet Bob Armstrong. So this is GCW Radio. So first of all, let's go out with the Dylan Cook jokes. Dylan Cook, of course, has less charisma than Veronica Fairchild has children. So.
And to which I come back with the phrase, well, there goes Wick. He's in burial mode again.
Well, I got to say, you know, you said people have used the manager of champions. I will go out and say we're breaking history again, because I guarantee you no Fatal 4-Way ever has one man been a representative of three members of a Fatal 4-Way. I mean, that just, you know, as Hank Hill would say, what the hell? I mean, it's just wild that happens. But that means you're representing the best men in the business going today.
Well,
not just in one company either. So, I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Well, we all know Spiral and Clyde, AJ, man, great individuals, great in-ring work. AJ, one of the best veterans going today, one of the best veterans that's ever come out of the Southeast. But Mudbone is that dude, as they say. And we may be them boys, but as I've said before, Tyson Dean, Shane Marks, and of course, Mudbone, the most underrated wrestlers in the Southeast, man. They know There will be no hesitation to pop each other in the mouth. Nobody will hesitate. Mudbone. I have been in the ring against Mudbone. I have managed against Mudbone, and I have managed Mudbone. So I know this man all too well. I consider Bone a friend. I consider Clyde, AJ, Blood, Spiral. Spiral speaks for himself. That man right there. Any way you look at it, there will be a GCW World Heavyweight Champion crowned, a new GCW World Heavyweight Champion crowned on January 30th. And I got a little call from someone that's birthday is January 24th. And he said he can't wait to see the outcome of this match. I said, as well as I, sir.
Yeah, who's the birthdays on the 24th?
Well, let's just say that he's a waste of talent, and he quit way too soon, and I'm going to punch him in the face when I see him again. I'm sorry, I'm being attacked by a Great Dane Pitbull puppy, Iris. And Eddie's laugh apparently just enthused her because she just totally turned her head sideways.
At least it's not your daughter biting you.
Oh, I know. No, this dog's been biting everybody. Everybody.
And since we hit that topic, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I know he's going to kill me. But of course, we didn't do a show last week for GCW Radio, but we did mention it on BR Live. And did we mention it on TBD last week?
No, because it was late.
There you go. Yeah. But since we finally have a chance to, and we've got him, ladies and gentlemen, celebrated his birthday this past week, Maddog Dan Sawyer. Congratulations. Happy belated birthday on air.
I'm going to do like the sisters, and I want to pin a bunch of dollars to my shirt and see how many I can get. You know how they safety pin? Come on, you guys know. You've seen it. Eddie's like, wait a minute. If that job I had, it wasn't pinned. But that was another time in another place.
Eddie's used to seeing 100. What are you talking about?
Let me get my number.
Oh, man.
Don't let Eddie fool you. There's a reason why we get to say what we do on the To Be Determined show. It's because Eddie runs this radio station. How does Eddie make that money? Them hundreds.
That's right.
Unfortunately, sometimes those hundreds are monopoly money.
How about them Benjamins? Well, we can get to that four-way, but let's talk this ladies' match. And I gotta say, you got Priscilla Kelly, someone that you guys have been around. I've seen in Georgia shows, AWE, etc. And then there's that show that got canceled that she was supposed to be on this Saturday night, but it was moved.
Mm-hmm.
So this unknown, very cute girl is coming in to take on Veronica. It'll be Veronica's first singles match since returning back to Global Championship Wrestling. And then, just when you thought it couldn't get better, the old Bullet pushes the finger and says, why don't we put Pandora down there as a special guest referee? And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. She will call it down the middle. She'll probably hit everybody around the ring like she did Chiazzo and Tutwiler and Tommy and Simon Says, and hell, I think she can club a couple of fans along the way. I don't know who else she hit. She's hitting everybody out here. It's very Antoine Dobson. But Bullet asked me, why does that girl wear that mask all the time in these pictures? It's like, I don't know, it's kind of a thing. I can see that. I was like, it's kind of like you in the mask, it's important to her. It's part of her identity. But yeah, she got that idea from a great wrestling guru, Mr. Wicked Nemesis. So.
That she did. But I want to ask you about this because what I know of Priscilla is mostly through her work at AWE and what she did at Anarchy, being Jeremy Foster's valet. Jeremy Foster, someone who you know all too well, sir. Against a veteran like Veronica, it seemed like the last event at Seasons Beatings, it seemed like a veteran versus rookie, or a definitely an experience versus inexperience difference. It seems like this match may be the same. What can we expect out of Priscilla that maybe some of these other girls haven't been able to do, because Veronica just is on a tear. She has something to prove, either to herself or to the fans, to GCW, to whoever, maybe to her child, you know.
Well, I had kind of asked her, I said, you know, she's, of course, in it to win it. She's never been GCW Ladies Champion. And, you know, she cut her teeth here, and she said the Memphis Ladies of Wrestling Championship, the MCW Championship. She's had all these championships, but she's never had one in GCW. And she goes, do you know why that is? And I was like, no, I really don't. She goes, because there wasn't a ladies championship when I was here. Oh, okay. So she says, you know, I want to add to the gold. You know, my thing is the clutter around the ring has gotten so bad with Gyatso and all those guys. I mean, how many people, I mean, you saw it in your match when you was managing Braddock. I mean, you know, with this athletic commission, surely to goodness, something can be done about this. And, I mean, what are we going to do to keep the brotherhood from ringside? I mean, these are valid points that need to be brought up before this match, because it's getting silly out there. It's like a lumberjack or a lumberjill, like if it was. But, I mean, with Pandora in there as the referee, it should be on the up and up. But, you know, what are we going to do when Veronica doesn't do what Pandora says? I mean, what happens then? We got a brawl? And can Priscilla, you know, jump at that moment? I mean, does she have the ring savvy to know to, maybe I should be pinning her?
Well, she is a gypsy, so, you know, never trust a gypsy. If that bitch grabs my hand and tries to read my fortune, I'm like, get on.
Yeah.
And folks, he actually...
Vastani, go ahead. This ain't Ravenloft. Go on, Vastani.
He actually edited himself.
Is there going to be a crystal ball pulled out? I mean, was she seen on my big gypsy weddings? So is she really a gypsy? I don't know. I've never met her in person.
Yeah, she was on... what show was that, baby? I'm talking to my big fat gypsy wedding, yeah. Whatever it was, yeah. One of those TLC things that they... something, yeah. She was on one of those. I don't watch reality shows. Because I don't see reality shows. People say I'm Native American because I watch the 9/11 conspiracy documentaries, and I'm cool with that. That joke will take about 10 minutes to set in, and then it'll be funny.
I got you. I got it.
To which I got it. Let me follow it up by saying my definition of reality TV is Alabama and Auburn football. That's the closest thing to reality TV that I actually get. And it's guaranteed at least 12 to 13 installments per year. This year, one of them had 15. 14 and 1.
Yeah, but, I mean, people who... It's always crazy to me, the people that try to say they don't like wrestling, but they love reality TV. I was like, where the hell do you think they got the idea for reality TV besides cops? Wrestling. You know, agreed. I mean... I consider that reality TV. I mean, it's entertainment. It's real.
But the people who don't like reality shows are the same ones that grandmothers grew up on soap operas. Mm-hmm. And they're like, it's just a soap opera. Everything's a soap opera. I mean,
yeah,
everything has a good
drama, action.
Twist. It's drama, exactly. And we know action. We are GCW. I'm just playing.
That's right. You know, the best of the past, present, and future pro wrestling. I mean, but I will say, if either one of you gentlemen got to see Raw last night,
some of it, yes. Some of it, yes. Okay. All of it, no.
Well, let me tell you what was stolen this week. Honest to God, I was in Dalton, Georgia, the other night when the original Powerball was going to be at 11, and Vince McMahon quotes me. And he said, Roman Reigns got about as much chance of winning the Royal Rumble is you people who won in the Powerball. And I said that to Johnny Swinger.
There's our bug.
Verbatim. You know, and I even texted O'Hagan. I was like, "You were there? You heard this?" He goes, "Son of a..."
Exactly.
Goes, man, you know, it's nuts. I mean, hey, if you want to steal my stuff, just hire me, and I'll be glad to write for you. I can do a better job than Jimmy Jacobs, Ring of Honor. You guys ever see him do that little stomp back in the day before he locked up?
Yes,
yeah.
We've had so many coincidental circumstances with things that we have done or discussed all of a sudden appearing on McMahon Broadcasting. It's like, you know, we're available for, if you'd like to, we come up and work for WWE as creative. We're not going to give up GCW, but we'll be happy to come work on the creative team and actually give you better storylines.
Yeah, maybe because we know a little bit about wrestling.
Yeah,
well, you guys remember back whenever they had the Shield? That was a straight ripoff of GCW, the squared circle, right?
No, before that, the Brotherhood.
Yep.
Because even our finisher was the same.
Yep, the triple power bomb.
The triple power bomb.
You know,
and everybody knows who idea that was. What O'Malley's?
Wow. Yeah, that damn O'Malley. Got to watch out for him.
Yeah, we got to watch out for those ugly ass boots he's got.
Oh, he got some new ones. I think he got in his head.
Oh, I know, but still, though, he's still got some ugly boots because he's an ugly man.
He did come out brand new tights and ugly boots.
Whatever tag team goes after them, in all honesty, you know, between O'Hagan and O'Malley's ugly ass, if you're going to be ugly, you got to be tough. Those two ugly mugs, so they must be tough as hell. And I know Josh, I'm glad that I'm not in an angle against him. God dog, I've been in an angle against the guy since the Unlucky Charms jumped in GCW in 2011.
I know, version 1, 2, and 3.
God, yes. This Great Dane has a problem with one of you two's voices because she is attacking me every time one of you two talk.
Well, it's my fault because I'm like Aquaman. I can call the dogs.
Who let the
Yeah.
Stop that trash.
Yeah. Crazy.
Do me a favor. Let me come back over to the ladies' match for a second because there is one point that I wanted to bring up. No. We can have. We're having fun, and I'm loving this.
9.
Nine.
Nine.
I listened to the GCW replay. We laughed so hard at how stupid we were. I felt so bad for Eddie. Eddie always comes on here, and then Dan and I come on here, and we're supposed to represent GCW. I know everybody's like, "Oh, Dan's just a wrestler." So then he comes over and he lets loose, and people are like, "Where's that guy?" And I asked, "Where's the Dan that was in the UIW locker room?"
Ooh. Wow.
That guy was mean. That guy was mean. You hear that?
Should the
He's coming around.
Oh,
He's coming around.
Let me tell you, Dan, I want to say this. Thank you for once again being at Peach State because a lot of those guys, especially Britt Jackson, I love Britt Jackson. He's my favorite wrestler. I can't wait to see him back at GCW. But that guy listens to you, and you know, I had this conversation before with several people, but you're a veteran that talks. When you go to other events, you help out the guys. And some guys could just sit there and they could just let it go. They could just let somebody mess up. They could let these younger guys, these greenhorns, go out and mess up, but you don't. And that's a testament to being a veteran, to being a worker. And that's Elizabeth. That's her testament to being your daughter.
She's got the little people playset here, the zoo.
Oh, no.
But it pops me every time she pulls the tail. It's like a little musical thing. Here's the best part: there's a rat on its back, a little mouse, and it just reminds me of wrestling.
Eddie, now you've been around a lot of women's matches. This women's match could be a main event in some places.
It actually could.
It's just like the dating game. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Speaking of little people, Priscilla and Veronica.
Okay.
Be an excellent match.
Okay.
And Pandora being a special enforcer /
That's my hinge point right there. Look, I've had a chance to watch Priscilla Kelly. She is a good up-and-coming young talent. She is learning very quickly. She's learning heads and shoulders above what a lot of people do on that learning curve. And there's some variables involved that I'm not going to talk about on air. Now, you put the curveball back into play with Veronica Fairchild. Has been a champion just about everywhere she has gone. So this is going to be a great learning experience for Priscilla Kelly, but I'm also going to sit back and say that Veronica cannot overlook her, not by any stretch of the imagination. Now, let's add the wild card to the equation. The special guest referee for this match is going to be the GCW Women's Champion, Calm Like a Bomb Pandora. This is
Temptress.
Mm-hmm. Never thought of that one, Wick. Neither did you. Damn.
I just made that one up.
He gets credit. LegalZoom.com. Let's go now. You've got a situation where Veronica, with and without Stormy, has been giving Pandora mortal crap. And Pandora, in the role of an official, as a referee and a duly appointed official of Global Championship Wrestling in ring, has a certain amount of leeway. I have this weird hunch that Pandora is going to drive Fairchild abso-freaking-lutely insane, especially in the opening moments of this match. For every time that Veronica has shot her mouth off about Pandora, for every time Veronica and Stormy have Makeup and Muscles have blindsided Pandora, double-teamed Pandora, I have a gut feeling that there may just be a little bit of retribution. And if I'm Veronica Fairchild, I've got to sit back and think exactly that. There's going to be a little bit of payback that will fall inside the parameters of the rules inside the ring of Global Championship Wrestling. How far will Pandora push it? How far will Veronica push it with Pandora? Because you know Veronica's got a temper. She does have a temper. And
so does Pandora. I mean, that is... They both... Well, what was funny to me, little Priscilla and herself... I just think of Elvis every time I hear Priscilla. Priscilla Kelly did a promo on her Facebook or Twitter or something, just put a little video out there, and you know, I could tell she's young and just not used to talking on like social media and stuff like that. 20 years old, but she said she didn't care if Pandora was the ref or not. I was like, things you don't want against you, you know. I mean, it's just, I was just thinking, you know, I don't always agree with everything Veronica does, says, or thinks, but you know, that's like I don't know, going to elementary school and go, I don't care what the principal says. You know, you just don't need any unnecessary red flags when you're stepping into a place that, I know a ring's a ring, but this is a whole new ball game. You know.
Well, I mean,
she didn't have Chip Day to protect her and do his cup of fart from the Honey Boo Boo show. But you know, I knew I was going to make you bastards laugh one way or another tonight, so I figured that was the point. But
I mean, but guys, let's be honest. There's only
Is that our outbed to the bottom of the hour?
I guess so.
They give the big kiss, Bob Eubanks.
And I'm a monkey. And I live in a bed down by the river. My social booty is funky.
Damn. I'm going, Mad Dog, take us to break.
Oh my God. I'm a monkey. So we'll be back with more GCW Radio after this. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll be back in
Howdy,
2 and
friends.
2.
This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for Wrestle Rage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at Wrestle Rage.
The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motor Fast Eddie Layne as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
The Maddog's House of Pain, the only nationally licensed pro wrestling school in the state of Alabama. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, trained by the Junkyard Dog, will be your trainer. You want to be a professional wrestling superstar? Learn from GCW's own Mad Dog's House of Pain. With over 22 years experience, learn from the Mad Dog's House of Pain. 205-567-6482. Start your career today. Call 205-567-6482.
GCW Radio, we're live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, as well as the Beyond Ringside Radio app, and Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Ustream, TuneIn Radio app.
He got it!
And Winamp.
Yeah.
Yay! Podomatic as well. We're also on Podomatic. So.
Yeah, actually, I tell you, the easy way also, if you go to beyondringside.com, which is the home for the broadcast, if you look about one click down on the left, you can open up a standalone player, whether it be for Winamp, whether it be iTunes, whether it be Windows Media Player, Real Player, QuickTime, and you can actually listen through a standalone and still use your browser to surf the web. So for those of you that don't want to use up too much of your bandwidth as far as your mobile device goes, if you're not hooked in through Wi-Fi through your home or work, you can also use your computer, desktop, laptop. That doesn't necessarily, it won't open up on mobile devices for some reason. It's a little bit fickle unless you have the app already installed. But Yeah, and also don't forget YouTube as well. The replays will be on GCW's YouTube channel as well as BR's YouTube channel. Ha! I knew you'd forget one.
I'm listening to Texas Instruments Speak and Spell. You guys sound like Stephen Hawking when you speak back to me.
Okay. See.
Was that the Mexican Speak and Spell? What was that?
See.
Latino Heat. Oh man, let's jump in there. You talked about the Brotherhood jumping into break. You know, you got the member there, Veronica Fairchild. She's in that big ladies match with Priscilla Kelly. But let's discuss the Brotherhood challenge still going on. But they've already called somebody out, and Brett Jackson, Mr. Attraction, and Donnie Primetime, and DP3, is that what you called him the other day?
Yeah, Donnie Primetime the third, DP3.
Okay. I thought you were using adult movie terms. I was just making sure. DVDVA,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, so these cats are coming in there, and they're a good tag team. Unless some jackass in the crowd starts fighting a woman. They can keep your attention very well. A little inside for you there. Wicked must have disappeared again because he would have jumped all on that.
Yes, he would have.
Like a cat on catnip.
And let the chips fly where they may.
They're going to come in and wrestle the Brotherhood for the Brotherhood Challenge. So, two young guys ready to go. I said it tonight on commentary. But Brett Jackson looks like a beefier Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
Donnie Primetime's got some moves. Very, very, crowd favorite, man. I mean, he had to wrestle the Night Prowler last time he was here, and that was his debut. But a lot of fans getting with old Primetime and Brett Jackson. They've seen Brett one time he wrestled Ace Haven in the past, but Brett on the good side of the law, I guess. This time around, I think he's had a change of heart up there in the South area. But any ideas what this legal situation is, Eddie? I mean,
with the Brotherhood?
Yeah, with the Brotherhood. I mean, they're like a squeaky wheel at Walmart on a buggy.
Yeah, they're squeaky in that regard, but they're about as tight-lipped as Congress when you start talking sunshine laws. I'm not kidding.
I'm lost. I'm as lost as a homeless person trying to get in the warming station at Boutwell with the Bernie Sanders promo going on. Hey, where's my warming station? Bernie Sanders is in there.
Oh, Bernie came to Birmingham? I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, this was last night, and they locked all the homeless folks out. It's 17 degrees outside, and they're not letting them in. That's true. I'm not being ridiculous at all. I mean, I'm just stating fact.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was it, about 3 weeks ago, Ted Cruz came through Alabama and was at the Trustful Civic Center. Line was out the door, around the building, across the street, into the parking lot.
Well, I mean, did you guys hear also that a very special person come through Alabama recently, too? That man's name? I don't know.
I'm waiting on
going through the country with a horse with no name. But no, I mean, Bernie Sanders, they said drew 5,000 something inside and over 2,000 on the outside. Must have been free.
How does hair look?
Perfect.
Worse than Vince's after he lost to Donald Trump in the Lashley versus Umaga match.
Yeah.
Well, at least he draws better than Billy Knight.
That's not saying much.
And through the desert on a horse with no name, out of the rain.
Thank you, Sister Golden Hair.
Yeah, I tell you what, who cares about Adele and random karaoke? We got our own version when we all get together. Seriously, we always pull out all these crazy music. So we got Brotherhood, Brett Jackson, and Donnie Primetime. So that's exciting, and we're just sitting on the edge of our seat waiting to see what they're going to say they're going to do, and they almost like it's a hostage situation about the GCW World Tag Team Championship. So we'll see what they have to say and who they have to say for them. I mean, we know that O'Malley's not going to talk. He's about like Tonto on the Lone Ranger. Yes, Kimasabi.
He wishes.
What now?
He's more like the Lone Ranger's like band on the back of his mask, maybe. He ain't even Tonto. Veronica's Tonto. Or as should be known, Toronto.
Hey, there you go.
Toronto.
Now. Yeah, as far as it goes with the so-called legal...
Invisible touch, yeah.
You're going back to Britt Jackson's music.
Yeah, it's Britt Jackson. I get to hear Invisible Touch. Phil Collins.
No, because when they come out as Donnie Primetime, when they come out as over here, they've been using Donnie's music. And actually, I like Donnie's music better.
Who gives
what is Donnie's music?
You're gonna pop over this one. Actually, it's a new release from Todd Rundgren. It's called Everybody.
Did we pop?
Yeah.
We did not pop.
I'll have to hear it. I'll just have to hear it. I guess.
Okay.
I guess you had to be there.
They need to come out to Glen Fry. You belong to the city.
Too slow. Dude, the heat is on.
Smuggler. How about the Smuggler's Blues?
Like that one. That's good.
No. Britt Jackson's got charisma. He's also shaped like an egg, but at least he has charisma. If we could take and transfer his charisma into Dylan Cook, man, we make a lot of money off Dylan Cook.
Speaking of Dylan Cook Dylan is going to be in action on the 30th in Pell City, right, Mad Dog?
Yeah, he's talking on the P-Dog.
Oh, shoot.
Snap. Yeah, P-Dog. We're talking the wrestling rapper, Mike Posey.
I have had a chance to work with P-Dog. I've also had a chance to catch him live at Ring of Honor events. I've worked with him on a number of different shows. You know, I've got to sit back and say this. The image may be a little bit different, and believe it or not, he does have a little bit of skill when it comes to MC. And I did say a little bit, leave it alone. And from that vantage point, I'm going to sit back and say, for those who are not totally familiar with Mike Posey, you're talking about one of the most technically sound individuals inside of a wrestling ring. Not to mention, his cardio is incredible. I'm beginning to wonder who would actually be on the dead solid tie list. I mean, if it would be a tie between he and Josh O'Hagan as far as who has the best cardio in the business. And Dylan Cook, kid, you had a great first season. It's been a rocky road for the last couple, and I'm gonna be straight shoot. This is legit, kids. Dylan Cook's going to have his work cut out for him against P-Dog coming up on the 30th. Mad Dog, that is.
I agree. And I wasn't familiar that Mike Posey had been repackaged. And I caught his 2 appearances on Ring of Honor with the Get Along Gang.
Yeah.
And I hope he leaves them at home. But... yeah, somebody on Ring of Honor. I think it's Torino. Says, who the hell are these people? You know, he says, who the hell are all these people? But I don't know, man. Dylan is going to be wrestling the version of Plastic Man of pro wrestling. You know, he's got cardio for days, but he has the flexibility.
Yep.
It's unreal. I mean, and I've wrestled him. He was the guy I did with the WWE Extra Talent match. I had to wrestle Mike Posey, and you know, maybe I hit him too hard or something, and he's repackaged himself as the P-Dog, which he does kind of kickbox. I don't think his wrongs are that good. I mean, he's not going to be putting Jay-Z into a threat situation by any means, but. There's some humor in it. I will say that. But
he'd give John Cena a good run for his money.
I will say this: he looks bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He's more muscular than the last. I mean, he's always been in amazing shape, but he's added some size to himself. OP Dog. So I don't know, Wick. What do you think of this new character? I know you know he's taking on the small wonder of wrestling.
I do like P-Dog. Posy's an amazing athlete. Excuse me. Posy's an amazing athlete. I do like the P-Dog gimmick. Definitely, he can't have an entourage. Francisco has that locked down.
Yeah.
Now, we all know he can't rap. I don't think he listens to rap, to be honest. But trouble's on his mind. He still smells crime. His little brother's crying. Smokers steadily were buying his Sega Genesis. So that's a little flow for y'all. That was quick. You see that? It was nostalgia.
Yeah, that was good. That was smooth. Smooth criminal. Well, I'll just say you've been spending most of your life living in a gangster's paradise. I mean, what does he come? Does he come out? Does he come out rapping his own music, or?
As I walk through the valley of the shadow,
the shadow of death.
Now.
See, our parents do know we do have ADHD. I mean, if there's ever been a group of friends that who could chase a butterfly, it would be us. But never a dull moment. I will say that.
We got hands.
We do have hands. And screw you, exit 150, whatever it was. But
them Skittles,
that's
boy.
what happens. Them Skittles and those gummy lifesavers had my blood sugar all up 2 years ago.
What happens when you live in that gangster's paradise?
Yeah, it is. And Simon Sermon says, Maddog, did you see any UFOs coming to Georgia this time? No, Simon, I didn't.
Wicked, why are you so loud?
And
I was born that way.
Yeah, he was. Lady Gaga, he was born that way.
Mm-hmm.
But nice to see Dylan and P-Dog. This is going to be an amazing matchup. It's going to be a different flair. And I think Dylan can learn a lot from this match. What did Dylan do to anybody to get these ass whoopings he's been receiving? Welcome back, Dylan Cook.
I don't know. Mudbone rang his bell.
Yep, and he finished the match.
Yeah, because he wanted to know. I forget what he asked. He said he was going out to find his mom or his girlfriend. I said, "Do you mind going with him?"
Yeah, he asked Angie and I. Oh, God, Dylan, I love Dylan. This is so embarrassing. He said, "Are we tingling?" Angie said, "No, you're probably tingling." He's like, "Oh, so we are tingling." And Angie said, "No, Dylan, you're tingling because you have a concussion." He said, "Oh." And then you send everybody to sign autographs, and then he gets up and he's out of it. And I told him, I was like, "You cool? Yeah, man. Is my mom here?" I said, "I hope your mom's here." The 14 of your family that usually come, I hope she's one of them.
Yeah. It was weird though. After his match, he introduced himself to Jimmy Rave. Jimmy had just met him the month before at GCW, and he says, "Hey, you're Corey Hollis's friend." That's what he said to Jimmy Rave. I swear to you. God. Jimmy goes, "I like Corey."
Because Jimmy's had 17 concussions. He knew
concussions. Yeah, exactly. I was just like, this was a Saturday Night Live bit. A guy who just got a concussion talking to a guy who's had 17. The only person who's had more concussions than Jimmy Rave is Dave Osborne.
Super Dave, yes.
Yes. And Athletic Commission, I know you're listening, and for everybody wondering at home, he was medically taken care of too. So
he was. He was taken by a nurse, and I don't know if the male nurse really needed to check his prostate, but I mean, hey, you never know. You got to check all these things out.
It wasn't a male nurse. That was O'Hagan in Scrubs.
That's why we had to have Melvin the male nurse.
That was O'Hagan in drag. Tell the truth.
No, that was
it was Melvin. It was Melvin. Okay. Melvin the male nurse.
I like my line better. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about this main event before you guys got to go back to basics. We got 10. I know we'll be back next Tuesday to divulge more information on the great fans of GCW, but holy cow. It's been a long it kind of sucks to have to turn this belt over, not having to lose it, but it's what's best for the company, and that's what we're going to do. And so we got 4 guys who've made their way there. We got Mudbone, AJ Steele, Clyde Braddock, and of course Spiral. And I know Wick is the manager of 3 of these guys, and we better be careful rubbing this in too much, because Mudbone will be like, what, are you scared of having a black man in Mercy's And you can say, no, there's been several. But I don't know, man. It's going to be a great match. I mean, not just a clash of the champions, a clash of the titans. I mean, we've got 4 guys coming in with different styles of each other, and there again, just like with the Jimmy Rave match, I would pay to see this.
So. Well, this is what I get paid to do, so let me do this real quick.
Let me speak on this.
Yes. You have 2 former GCW World Heavyweight Champions in Mudbone and AJ Steele. Now you have 2 that have held titles, and quite possibly the greatest GCW middleweight champion of all time in Spiral. Then you've had Braddock, who has only tasted GCW Tag Team Gold. With that being said, the Merchants of Death know what's going to happen here. This is going to be a hard-fought process, and with this being a fatal 4-way, I do believe that means that there will be multiple pinfalls in this, correct?
Yes, there is. It's elimination.
See, and that is another thing, an elimination, a fatal 4-way. A lot of people think that, there's a 4-way and then 1 pinfall. No. This is going to be elimination. Yeah. So slowly but surely, it's going to tick away. It's going to tick, and then there will be 2 men. One of those will be the new GCW World Heavyweight Champion. Fast forward to the time to when that person has to defend the title next, you're looking at 3 number 1 contenders right there in the ring.
Yep.
So I promise you, whoever wins this, their battle's not done, because you got 3 people that are right there waiting to step up for it, plus everybody else in the locker room. I'm sure Francisco's going to want that title sooner rather than later. So,
yeah, he's kind of sour grapes that, that he's a former champion and he's not in this mix.
Dude, Sour Grapes is an amazing, amazing play, by the way. See, nobody gets that, dude. That's for the higher level. That's people that just going through YouTube just happen to stumble upon this. See, some of our jokes are on a higher level. I also write all my curses in cursive.
Can we take it higher?
Tayo Cruz.
Yeah, let's go a little slide in the family stone there.
That too. If I could on the 4-way, this is going to be one of the most unique scenarios in which a new champion is crowned. Because I'm going to ask everybody to think back over the last few years when you've had an opportunity to see a so-called fatal 4-way matchup. There are companies that will have a 4-way and a single fall. This is going to be a situation where things are going to be a little bit footloose in that first fall until that first pinfall occurs. And then the sense of urgency will kick in. Wick brought it up beautifully a minute ago when he made the reference that there are 2 people in this match who have held that GCW Heavyweight Championship before. There are 2 individuals that are looking for it for the first time. That adds a whole new dimension to pressure. It's been a while since Mudbone has been to the top of that mountain. It's been a cup of coffee since AJ Steele has been at the top of that mountain. Spiral has been scratching and clawing trying to get there, little by little, and he's finally in that opportunity. Clyde Braddock has been a runaway locomotive, continuing to progress and get even better. He feels he's ready for that title. Spiral will tell you he's ready for that title. Mudbone will look you straight in the eye and you will know that he wants that belt back. And AJ Steele will go through hell and high water to get back to the top of that mountain. You've got one of the best high flyers who has a solid ground game. you have one of the best ground and pound fighters. And I'm actually two when you're talking about Steele and Braddock. And then in the form of Mudbone, the biggest wild card of them out there. Because this is a person that can basically befuddle you at the drop of a hat with a technical expertise that a lot of you don't see unless you've watched him live. This man's got one of the best spine busters in the whole damn business, and I'll back that lineup 7 days a week. Watch him in person when he hits that spine buster. You will sit back and compare it to double A in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I mean,
yep. And I've received it. I've I have felt all of these guys in their finishing moves, and the Dark Cloud being the most recent.
Yep.
And that didn't work out good for me. But you got going to the steel mill with AJ. You got roll the bones. Braddock's German suplexes, his belly to bellies, his power slams. I mean, there is just so much that can happen. What an exciting match! I don't know if there's not going to be much technicality to there, but let's not forget, fireballs that Mudbone has thrown, slipping snakes out, throwing mystical powder, just whatever. I mean, he's got the Punisher War Journal under his coat. He's got a lot that he can bring in there. That if things aren't going his way, he's gonna shift the tide a little bit. But I had some smart ass send me a little message on Facebook when the poster came out last Monday. He's like, Dr. King would be proud of this. 2 black guys and a white guy going for a belt. It didn't even happen to be like that. When the poster was arranged, I mean, when you said go to the mountaintop, it reminded me that somebody had sent me that message. These guys, these are the 4 best single wrestlers right now. I said 4 best single wrestlers because the Brotherhood will be whining. But they're still whining because I said if they tried to come out and cut anybody else's hair, that I was going to take those scissors and make them the Sisterhood, and saying I was going to neuter them, of course, for those that didn't understand the little one-liner. But hey, man, I am stoked next week to come back and GCW Radio next Tuesday. We're still good to go for that.
I missed the last part. My headset shorted out. Say it again.
I said we're set for next Tuesday night, week of the show.
Oh, most definitely. We will be back on Tuesday night, January the 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time.
Yep, Central Time. And we're supposed to be joined by a special guest. I don't know who that is, so we will see who joins us. It's someone who's never done GCW Radio before us. And I'm assuming they have something to do with the main event. I don't know. So it won't be Bernie Sanders, probably. He's still getting over coming to Birmingham last night. But maybe his hair will be perfect just for Wick.
I'm about to say, because if it's Bernie, he's going to go ahead and stop by Wick's house and get some of the mousse for the mohawk.
I wish. I would vote for him if he did that, just for that reason alone. Well, man, I enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Wicked, if you're still there.
Yes, sir.
Sir. Take care of that puppy.
Yes, sir.
Hi. And
Okay.
we'll talk. Come join us next week if you can.
Do me a favor. Hang on the line for one hot second. Maddog, of course, don't forget. You can be found on Facebook, right?
I got Dan Sawyer Facebook and tickets and stuff. GCW Media at yahoo.com.
And Wick, real quick, shameless plugs.
Yes, I want to give a big shout out to everyone that has supported us on this radio show and others. You can catch us, The To Be Determined Show, The Merchants of Death, The Sevenfold Saints, and The Unlucky Charms. All have Facebook fan pages. Give us a like and a share. If you don't, we understand. If you do, thank you all the much. Of course, tomorrow night, The To Be Determined Show live, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com. we would definitely make a lot of fun of Dylan Cook and O'Malley, especially those ugly ass mutton chops he has. So.
I want to say a very special thank you, Hot Ice Wayne Shell, and some other friends over in the chat room this evening. Always great to see everybody in and out, and love the commentary, Wayne. Folks, don't forget at GCW Pro Wrestling on Twitter. Find us on Instagram as well, GCW Pro Wrestling. On Facebook, two ways, facebook.com/GCW Pro and facebook.com/GCW Pro Wrestling. YouTube.com/GCW Pro Wrestling, as well as our home, GCWPro.com. Mark your calendars, make your plans. Saturday night, January the 30th, Pell City, Alabama. Pell City Civic Center. I was trying to say three things at once, and guess what? I'm lucky to be able to say one sometime.
He's stuttering on his phone. There
you go. And as Maddog said just a minute ago, folks, real quick, don't forget, if you're planning to make the trip to Pell City, while they are available, while they last, you can reserve ringside seating by sending an email to gcwmedia@yahoo.com. Until next time, we'll be back at it. For those listening live this evening on this 19th day of January, Beyond Ringside Back to Basics kicks off in just a couple of minutes. And for right now, I will say, for the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Big shout out to Gabe, Tate, Xavier, Maryland, and Lily. Thank you, everyone, and GCW.
For the Mad Dog, Dan Sawyer.
See everybody next Tuesday night for GCW Radio, as Big Al is still going off in the background. We'll see you right here for GCW Radio next week. Stick around for Back to Basics.
I am Fast Eddie Layne saying stick around, stay a while. This Tuesday night party continues, and join us right here next time as we go ringside and beyond with Global Championship Wrestling.